And it looks like we are live, except that the game's not showing up on OBS. What are you doing?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Interesting. Well, usually my tech problem is audio. Today it's apparently going to be video. Weird.
For
I've
a
been
second,
trying
I forgot to mute the stream. I was listening to both of you, both versions at once, and it was very confusing.
Well, I see it now.
Yep. I'm just gonna bring that up. So Game Capture did not recognize Phaser as a full screen application. Which is super weird.
Might default to like windowed full screen, but it should still find that because I play most of my games in windowed full screen because I have a second monitor.
So OBS will not.
Okay,
OBS
that's
is
probably why.
very, very particular, but it's fine. We got it working. And I just need to hit something on my roommate's computer real quick so that I don't have to listen to her during stream. The joys of sharing an office during COVID time.
Lovely.
Right?
I've never actually seen like an avatar with like more pixels than the phaser guy, and it looks like cleaner than I thought it would. Like
All
in
right.
game.
Hello, we should be live. I should be on your screen now. I think I did all of the things and did them correctly. Welcome to our first Monday night Meet the Dev/Designer special game? I don't know what I want to call this. Series. That's the word I was looking for. It's been a long day. It's a Monday. So yeah, Phaser is, I want to introduce it a little bit, but then I'm gonna pass it over to the designers. So yeah, Phaser was made as one of the final projects for Game Design 2, and I believe this was the first, yeah, it was the first semester I ever taught Game Design 2. So even though I am not on this design team, I am actually super excited that my first semester teaching, one of those prototypes went public. Yeah, the group definitely has worked on it since then. You don't make a game this good in just a couple of months, but that is all I have to say, I think, because I'm not really sure what you guys have been doing since class, and what your process has been. I played versions of this in class, and then y'all sent me one version after class, but before what I'm going to play right now. I'm not sure if that was the first release or beta testing. I don't remember, but I will leave it up to you. So please introduce yourselves, your company, whatever people need to know to find you and your game.
Alrighty, well, hey everyone. I'm James Borman from Refraction Games LLC, and we built this cute little game, Phaser. It's very challenging, as you're probably about to see, 2D platformer, sorry. And it relies on this unique mechanic called color switching, which will become fairly obvious as you begin to play. But basically, the player has control of what objects are, quote, phased in or phased out throughout the game, and we kind of led that as like the main selling mechanic of the game. I don't know if Steven wanna.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Stephen Mulvey, another one of the devs at Refraction Games, and essentially, this game started as a class project, as Professor Malone, Dr. Malone mentioned, and we essentially decided that we were going to polish it up a bit, add some features, and release the game. And we went through a couple of iterations of it. We had some streamers on Twitch giving us some feedback and having some audience feedback. We learned a lot from that process, and we moved forward and added some new features that people will like, hopefully. Leaderboards, some skins, and some accessories.
Yeah, obviously these like customized screen probably wasn't there when you played before. This is kind of a way to motivate more player interaction and kind of just give players something to go for once they have played a little bit of the game, and just kind of giving some player customization options, which I think went over pretty well.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. So yeah, so the last time I played, these were not here. So I'm just looking over. It looks like all of them need to be unlocked. But yeah, like you said, extra motivation. I like it.
Yeah, and these find ones are kind of like hidden, like maybe Easter eggs is too strong a word, but little collectibles that you can find within the levels by kind of going out of your way to find them. And we kind of just wanted like a little bit more, for the player to do besides just completing the levels. And yeah, that and the speedrun mode were like was a post-release update. The achievements and leaderboards and stuff, I don't know if that was in the version you played, but that was part of the launch. But then we added the customization features and tuned up some levels a little bit. Controller support is in the game and such things like that we added post-launch.
116 deaths. I love that we have a death counter. Oh, give me 1 second. I'm being told I'm a little low compared to you guys. All right, how's that, QQ? All right, let's do this. Wait, what happened to Blandland?
Blindland got converted. So we used to have this 5 level intro. It kind of misrepresented, I think, how much depth the game can have. So it's now the first level of Vibrant Valley, and you will transition into Vibrant Valley during that level. So there's like one main tutorial level, and then there's like levels that teach you the color switching mechanics, which you'll see. But we kind of combined it to one just so the player didn't spend like a large amount of time here before moving on.
That's legit.
Yeah, we.
Kidding me? Of course I would die in the tutorial. God damn it. Oh, this stream is rated M for mature because I can't play games and not swear, just so that we're all on the same page.
Yeah, especially this one, I'd imagine. Also, I guess a couple things we added. So the controls are a little bit more sensitive than they were before. There's a little bit more like acceleration and deceleration period, and now you can sort of turn yourself around midair, which might be throwing you off a bit. And also we added a little bit of a UI in the bottom left for streaming.
Yeah, and
buttons
in the lower left there too, you can see like what the colors that you're supposed to use to switch to at all times. I know that was feedback we got back since the class times. We put like icons on the objects, but now you can see that at all times, and it can be shut off should you want. But
no, I don't want. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember playing earlier versions of this game and being like, I keep dying because I keep forgetting what button is what. Yes, QQ, we are working on that, but I need it to not be Cat's birthday, because I'm not gonna ask him to work on his birthday. This is a channel thing. Everyone talks about death counters. My channel wants me to have a fuck counter. Oh, that's okay. I can stand here.
I suppose the two counters would be pretty correlated, huh?
What's that?
The two counters would be pretty correlated.
Oh, yes, they will. Especially in Witcher. Oh my god.
No, that game can be tough for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. But yes, there were many a deaths.
Wait till you try to play Witcher 3 on Blood and Broken Bones.
God.
So this is just showing you through the UI quick.
Sure. Okay. And now we get to the pretty stuff.
So yeah, basically by selecting, to anyone who doesn't know right off the bat, by selecting the colors, you can see what she's pushing with her arrow keys there. You can select a color to phase in. All the other colors are phased out as far as blocks go. And as you'll see in the next level, there's spikes, and they work the exact opposite way. So you can only...
Ah! Oh! So if I'm in the middle of a block and I turn it on...
Yeah.
Was that always that way? I don't remember.
I think it was by the end of the class, but initially it was not.
We could discuss that, QQ, but you're gonna need more than 50,000 jammy points for me to do that.
I started something. I'm scared now.
You're scared. I'm scared. Like, I don't play any of the games on easy mode, but I also don't generally play them on the most difficult either.
Yeah, I believe you can, like, it's basically Blood and Broken Bones is like hard, and then there's like the ultra hard Death March, but I don't think you can do Death March till you finish one time through. But I could be wrong on that. And here, like, colored spikes work the opposite way, so you switch the color that you would like to remove. And that's obviously to stop it from being like overtly easy, because if you were able to, if there were only one color of spikes phased in at one time, spikes would kind of be trivial.
Oh, yeah, agreed.
I don't know about you, Steven, but actually, I really like our little UI thing at the bottom for seeing what anyone's pushing. It actually makes it a lot more fun to watch too.
Yeah, for streaming, agreed. It actually makes a pretty big difference.
Yeah.
I haven't really watched a lot of people streaming it since that update came out.
Same.
Where did you guys come up with that idea? I also really like it.
I think
we actually. Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
Oh.
I think we were just like originally like trying to alleviate the issue where people, were saying they didn't know what color was what button, and we were trying to think of a persistent way to put that on there. And then we were having a couple streamers test it out at the time, so we kind of just put two and two together and thought it would be like a good addition, especially since it doesn't seem to really, that lower corner never really gets used except for a couple levels, like where you're surrounded. So it doesn't really take up any of your visual space that you need.
Yeah, and it's also like so far into the peripheral vision that it's not distracting me either.
Yeah. I think one of the hardest things about it too was like getting the right colorations like on the colored ones, so you could see which one's being pressed without it like messing with anyone relying on that to tell which one they should press, if you understand what I mean. Old triple spike. Nice.
I think we also actually wanted to put it in for the trailer too.
Yeah.
Remember, a lot of people, if you're watching someone play it, maybe you have a decent understanding of what's going on, but if you're watching a gameplay trailer, it's a little bit less clear what's actually occurring. So having that interface in the bottom left was pretty helpful, I think, for making the trailer a little more
Cat wants
clear.
to say hi. You're gonna ruin my time, girl. Ugh. Yeah, I would say that's true too. Because one of I mean, with the bottom left corner, I think that alleviates it a lot. But before that, you have this interesting interaction of you're moving both the avatar and changing the environment. But when just watching, I think you're right. That's not immediately obvious if you don't know what's happening. Okay, say goodbye. Ugh. I will go back to the game in just a second, but if I don't give her a treat, she's gonna keep bugging me.
No worries, cat care is important.
Yeah, I'm thinking of getting a cat cam because, frankly, because people have asked me for it.
Yeah, I think cat cams are fairly popular.
Yeah,
I've
I
seen a
mean,
lot of free channels.
it's the internet. It's for cats.
Cat bribery.
I feel like ah! I thought I was gonna die there, but I thought it was because of the hole. I didn't think it was gonna be from the spike.
Yeah, I'd say that's one of the bigger challenges about the game that does get a lot easier with playtime is the your ability to kind of focus on more than one thing at once. Because I find most of the times I will die to like I'm thinking about avoiding a spike and then I'll die to falling, or I think about avoiding, not turning it off and then I turn it off too late or something like that. So we kind of intended the game to be not only like mechanically challenging for, players to physically do it, but also kind of challenging for your thought process on how to do stuff. Kind of trying to fuse like.
Oops. Just forgot to hit the button. Like I knew exactly what I needed to do, and my hand was just like, no. I can feel the change in the sensitivity of controls in the air movement when jumping. Like that's definitely noticeable from the last time I played.
Yeah, if you're not used to it, it almost feels a little bit twitchy, but I think it is a little bit easier overall.
I think you just have
of having to really accelerate.
You just have like more real control over it. I feel like in moment to moment, and that can be a little jarring. But in the end, once you get like more familiar with it, I think it helps a lot.
Yeah, I can already tell that it helps. I'm just not quite used to it. So I generally prefer to do blind playthroughs while streaming. So even though this isn't really blind, because I've played other versions, I actually made a point to not play the update before stream today. Ah. I also always expect the side of the triangle to not kill me, even though intellectually I know that it does.
Yeah, we spent a long time playing around with the hitboxes on the spikes, and I think what we arrived at is fairly good, but yeah, the spikes have always been kind of challenging to balance properly like that. But yeah, basically we didn't want it to be so you could just like run into it and survive.
I hate when I die on something that I already got past before.
Yeah, one thing we sort of wanted about, or at least from my perspective about the game, is that it requires a decent bit of consistency. You have to conquer each challenge consecutively, but then you also have to be able to redo the ones that you did before in order to get to the end.
Yeah, definitely. No, from a design so from a design perspective, I think you guys did good, right? That was not me actually complaining about the game. That was complaining about my ability to repeat something that I've already done. Although it could be worse. I recently, I think it was like a couple of weeks ago, I was watching another streamer do Witcher, and they decided to scum save after doing a big boss, only they forgot to save. So they had to like redo this fight that they had died probably 20 times on the first time around.
Do you know which boss it is, if I can ask? Just because I do like The Witcher.
So
nice!
It was in Witcher 1. It was the one where the golems are in the forest by the druids.
Oh, okay. Can't remember the name of that. I know which one you're talking about, but can't remember the name of that boss. It's been a while.
I can't remember the name. And it was, I had played past that point already, so like I told him, I'm like, don't do it. I'm like, you really don't want to do this. Like, trust me. And he's just like, no, 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 it'll be fine. And I'm like, okay. All
Think about
right.
this one for 1 second.
Just like deciding how I want to do that. Okay, I feel like I maybe made the wrong decision. Nope.
No, you made
Yay.
a good decision. Nice.
Whew.
Yeah, nice. And the thing about this too, there's multiple ways you can do a lot of stuff in theory, just based on the way the game works. Obviously, like the mechanic is that you can alter the environment so freely. You could just turn you can turn the spike and the yellow blocks off and just hop down and around, or you can use the yellow blocks as a landing platform and hop through the red.
Mhm. Like obviously here too, there's like multiple ways to get across this. Like it's supposed to be like that, and that's kind of why we put speedrun mode and stuff in there, because we were curious like what people would try to do if they were trying to shave time off.
I mean, that's one of the things I always really liked about this game, was um, the level of agency that the player has.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like,
And there have been instances where I've been watching somebody stream and I'm thinking like, what the heck are they doing? Like, this is not what you're supposed to do. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, they just did it faster than I did it. So like,
Yeah.
they found ways through it that are even better than what we as the devs had intended.
See, like there, you just found a different way to do that. That's
God
actually
damn
kind
it,
of
stop it.
quicker, because you can avoid, yeah, even landing on the blue.
Have you gotten a lot of people to stream this for you guys?
Few,
Yeah, we have I've had about 20 people stream it around there, I'd say.
Nice. Um,
you have to be very careful there.
yeah,
Those ones are rough.
this is gonna be.
And there have been some really, really good people. The number one guy currently, he beat the whole game. This isn't in speedrun mode, so you can like do each level individually, but his whole time for the game is around like a little under 9 minutes, I think, if I recall correctly.
That's
Wow.
insane.
So I appreciate that you guys have a speedrun mode for the because I like options, I like agency and whatnot, but I personally am not a speedrunner.
No, that's completely fine. The game is, that's why there's like collectibles and stuff too. There's like lots of other stuff you can chase. There's a practice mode too, and you can use that too later if you would prefer to check out later levels eventually, because the practice mode lets you pick like any level, and you can place your own like checkpoints. So you can basically, if you want to play the game, but you know, not really compete for leaderboard status and stuff, you can still experience every level, even if you get stuck.
Yeah, I'm definitely a collector type. Like I would go through and collect all the skins and all the accessories. I don't like fast things. I like to chill and take my time.
Yeah, and there's a mix of skins and collectibles. Some of them do require you to use.
Oh, set a move an inch.
Fucking kidding me? That was done!
Mm-hmm. Hey, practice makes perfect.
That's true.
That's what I would try to tell myself every time I would do bad on a level, but
Yeah, I showed this game to one of my friends. He plays MOBAs very, very, very competitively. Like he's like semi-pro, and he decided he was going to play this game in between queues so he could calm himself down. But
yeah, I don't know about that.
That's cute.
it had the opposite effect.
Um,
Nice. Okay.
but even so, like that again, like it is another reason I like this game because it's challenging. It's really challenging, right? So I die all the time, but it's not so challenging that like when I die, I'm like, oh, I can't do this. You know what I mean? Because it's always like obvious that it's possible.
Mm-hmm. the kind of like pleasantly frustrating kind of feeling where it's like rewarding to complete it, but doesn't feel insurmountable.
You used pleasantly frustrating and just made my professor heart to smile.
That's
I
one of
thought
the
you would
vocab
like
words
that.
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It actually is pretty, like, not to say that school isn't always, like, incredibly useful, but I feel like a lot of my classes, it's not very, like, evident that you're, like, learning something that's really helpful, but I feel like a lot of the principles that we learned in class actually, like, pretty directly ended up affecting this game.
I would
That's
agree.
great. I mean, I will say in a defensive school, um,
That wasn't me bashing school in general, obviously, but it's less easy to see the direct results of calculus class than it is to see the results of this, I'll say.
well, and that's just it, right? So, a lot dislike school because they don't see the relevance of it. But the problem is that certain things will be directly relevant, like this, right? This game certificate is really set up to be directly relevant. But something like calculus, for example, is actually still beneficial because it's basically the equivalent of going to the gym for your brain. And the more educated you are, and the more it doesn't necessarily have to mean formally educated. It could be like reading on your own or studying on your own or whatever. But the more that you do that, the better you will be able to cope with problems that come up. Like the more you will be able to problem solve and whatnot, just because you will have exercised your brain that much. I'm
Yeah.
not entirely sure, and don't tell me yet, but I'm not entirely sure how this is gonna work here. Oh, yeah.
You might have accidentally done something that is logical there. That's all I'll say.
Yup, I did, and it was on accident. Cool. I somehow momentarily forgot that I could do the color switching on the triangles also.
That's one thing. There's a lot of various points of the game that while streaming, a lot of people come into the exact same roadblocks because at this point, like, people just haven't played the game enough to, like, think of things that way inherently, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
there are obstacles that you'll encounter later on that you'll just think, like, oh, this is how I do it. But early on, you don't always think of the various ways you can tackle the obstacles yet.
There's that, and then also I have come to notice the more I stream, is that I play everything better when I'm not streaming.
Yeah,
Right? Like
I feel like
I do
less
better, I die less when I'm not also talking to people and trying to read chat and whatnot.
less pressure, less distraction.
Yeah, it's the distraction is really is really big. Because even if it's not better, like I play faster when I'm by myself. Like my time to complete is
Oop.
Those platforms are fucking with me.
Yeah, like if you're just like curious on the design process, there's like there like this level, for example, going from yellow to green was kind of a pretty hard challenge for early on, we thought. So we added that like one black block by the yellow, so that you can kind of get your position before going for green. That was like a later addition.
I keep forgetting to jump before I switch the color. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, ideally you want to be like above it all the way before you switch, because otherwise, yeah, it'll block you or kill you because you're in it.
So I'm curious. Do you guys want to talk about how you dealt with balancing issues? Like you've already mentioned a few times, like, oh, we thought this or that was too difficult or not difficult enough in the case of Land. But how did you? What was your process in balancing the game?
I guess just
I-
feedback and like thinking of like generally like where the level fits. Sorry, Steven, did you have something you want to say?
I was just gonna say, I think we already mentioned this to you in class. It is infinitely easier to make a hard level than it is to make an easy level, because making a hard level engaging is not like inherently. If it's hard, it's going to be engaging. But it's difficult to make a level that's not hard, but it's still engaging. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So you start out making an easy level, and you think, "Oh, I'll just add this one little more jump just to make it like unique or like a little bit more tricky." And then 20 minutes later, it's just like a hellscape, and it's impossible to get through. So we've definitely had to tone things down. They really, that scared me.
Yeah.
There really haven't been a lot of instances where we've had to make a level more difficult. Most of our balancing changes have been in the making things a little bit easier for the players direction.
Yeah, also too, I think it's like we started off when like in the class and we were kind of just like, making levels to try to make interesting, unique levels. And then later we kind of had to really figure, and I think that was the thing we talked about in the class too. We had to kind of come up with a good progressional way that the player can like learn and actually like while still feeling not bored when they're learning. I think that was probably the hardest challenge of it.
Oh, this is gonna be a thing. Um,
Making this level, I was really proud of this level just because I thought it looked cool.
this level is very cool, and it also, here and other points in this game, it's one of those things where sometimes how something looks versus how difficult it's actually going to be are not the same.
Mm-hmm.
If I haven't gotten any collectibles unless maybe I missed them.
I think this level is actually the first collectible. There's one towards the end. If I'm not
Yeah, I'm trying
mistaken.
to think. I don't think there's a collectible prior to this, except for maybe. There's a one collectible for the bland
Yeah,
land.
but
Yeah, but that's kind of hidden.
Oh god, this is so like you have to just be exact. Is that what I'm looking at here?
yeah, it's a pretty precise jump.
Oh man.
I will say, like, you definitely don't have to jump through like onto the blue, onto the green, onto the red, onto the yellow, obviously. But you do have to make it across there. You don't have to hit all four though, if you get what I mean by that.
Yeah, I.
If you just think about like the
Oh
distance
wait,
your
I have an
character
idea.
can jump.
Yeah. Thanks for the backseat right there. I wonder.
Yeah, I was trying to give you a hint without telling you directly, but
Oh no. Okay. So maybe not that far. Just try that again.
well,
I'm not sure.
the character is designed to be able to jump 3 spikes,
Okay.
plus a little, not necessarily 4 though.
Okay. So I think.
Didn't work, but I think that might be your best call. That's at least how I usually do it.
Oops. Yeah, it feels better than the other, the attempt to go to green. Oops.
Yeah, I'd say the most comfortable jumping distance for the character is probably like 2 spikes, and then 3 you can make it, but you have to kind of push it. But if you go to like green and then you try to jump all three, that can be really challenging because you have like no leeway to move like back or forward with before you start jumping.
Mm-hmm.
But jumping 2 spikes isn't nearly as challenging as that.
Yeah, it's just this is about precision, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Not my strong point. Okay.
Nice.
Yes! Oh, thank God.
You were very smart there to not move right away. I've seen a lot of people, first time they get that, they'll like move into their jump and then kill themselves on the yellow spike. So it's very smart of you to like jump first and then move. Which is definitely what you're supposed to do.
I feel like I actually learned that in previous playthroughs of this, and I've also learned that for my ability to play anything, I also do better when I don't try to make 2 moves 1.
Yeah, it's kind of like a jump and move, not like a running jump, as a lot of other games kind of are.
Oh,
Yes.
I see. But
What you can do also, if you want to just finish the level, then you can go back and get the collectible if you want, because it's kind of a tough jump. Or you can try to get it all in one.
but if I finished it and I came back, wouldn't I have to start over from the beginning anyways?
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. So like, but if you want to move on to World 8, going to the completion flag will unlock World 8. Whereas if you go up there and then you die, you know, you won't. You'd have to
I
still
see.
get the completion flag.
I
Yeah.
see. Okay. Oh, whoa, that. Oh.
Hmm.
Well, anyways, that was a moot consideration, apparently. Oh.
I don't recall where the skin unlocks occur. I know there's there's one skin unlocked that I'm waiting for that I think is particularly funny, but I think a lot of the rest of them don't unlock until some of the later worlds.
So, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Aww. So what are your plans with Refraction Games? Like, are you working on your next project, or are you just working on promoting this game, or what are you doing right now?
So we've got a couple things. I'll go ahead.
I mean, either way, well, currently we are hired for that. I think we actually learned about that from your channel, but the grant for UW Health with teaching residents high value care and making a game for that, we got hired for that. So
Oh, congratulations!
thank you so much.
I
Yeah,
didn't know. Yeah, I shared that. They had contacted me. They had contacted me about it, so I know what you're talking about. That's awesome. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, we're
Thanks,
really just starting to really get to work on it because it took a long while to do all the legal hoops and stuff for working for the university. But that's currently our main focus, and then obviously updating Phaser and such. And we're brainstorming for future projects as well. But that's currently our near goal, I guess. I don't know if you have anything else you want to say, Stephen, on that matter.
Yeah, pretty much just that project. We're sort of messing around with some. I think we want our next game to be. Obviously, this game is. I think it's fun, but it's very simple, obviously, in graphics and in concept. So, I think our next game we're going to try to make a 3D game with a bit more of an expansive scope. And so we've been making efforts to learn various mechanics, like we've just been messing around with the basic scene with some enemies and like a weapon attack system and an enemy AI system that will attack you, and there's various factions that will be aligned with each other with you. And with some 3D camera work as well.
That sounds awesome. Let me know. I am gonna try to do, so I'm making this a series, the meet the dev, meet the designer thing. So I have a few other games lined up, but when you guys, you know, have more, I will stream whatever you guys come up with.
For sure, thanks. And I really appreciate you taking the time to kind of follow up with us on this, like following the class and everything. I think it's been really helpful.
You're welcome. So partly, I mean, first of all, I genuinely like this game. So that's not, and you are no longer my students. I'm not obligated to be nice to you. You know, so it's the truth. I genuinely like this game. But also I like fundamentally believe in trying to help out like small up and coming companies, games, whatever, you name it. I am all about like shamelessly promoting people I know until they become big companies. Not that that's a bad thing to become a big company, but then I feel like, oh, you now made it, you have money to advertise yourself. I'm not going to do it anymore.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I can't believe.
This beginning part of this level is so deceptively simple looking, but it is not quite that simple.
Well, and the fact that I already did it.
There you go.
If my roommate's cooking and I can smell the food, and it's distracting. Oh my god, I am gonna just...
Oh, I thought you had it there for a second.
So I'm clearly getting that first part faster and faster. These triangles, though. This is like just one little piece of sadism right in the middle of your game. I like cannot line up to not... Oops. I hit yellow instead of red. I keep over...
Yeah, when you hit your head, it'll kind of like kill your momentum too, and you can you remember you can like tap spacebar kind of instead of like holding it for like a shorter jump. But I don't know if that would really help you there, but not for this part. This you probably need to hold it. I just kind of mean for green to red when you're climbing. Ooh, nice.
Okay.
Nice.
I was like starting to get to this point where I was like, oh god, maybe I should like go into practice mode. People are gonna get bored watching this. Oddly enough,
I have seen infinitely longer levels from streamers. I've watched some serious grinds. Some people have died,
well, it's interesting.
no exaggeration, hundreds of times before we reworked World 1 level 10. There was a guy who died 375 times on one level.
Honestly, World 1 level 10 was a bit of like, you wanted more information on like balancing issues. Yeah, that was one of the biggest ones. I think it's in kind of a good place now to where it feels like a kind of a climactic end, but it's not insanely punishing.
I mean, from a streamer standpoint, I always feel like, oh, people are going to get bored watching me die over and over again. But in reality, they don't. People, I think they actually kind of like it in a twisted way.
Well, for me, it's just interesting to see the progress.
Yeah.
These levels are sort of on the shorter side, but some of the later levels, it's really evident to see like, oh, now they have this part mastered. They'll get this part like 9 times out of 10 now, and then the next part 1 out of 10, and then 3 out of 10, then 4, and then they keep working through it slowly, and they get faster and faster. It's just very satisfying to watch.
Yeah, that's what people told me about Witcher also. Because there was a lot of dying. Actually, there was a lot of dying until I realized that Witcher 2 can be played with a controller, and then becomes infinitely easier.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed Witcher on mouse and keyboard, but then again, I'm like an MNK like hardcore supporter, but I can definitely see how that would be like a lot easier on controller.
So I actually found with Witcher 2, the keys were often not responsive.
Oh, really? It's been a while since I played 2, so.
Shit,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
they didn't tell me Phaser can also be played on controller.
Yep. I think we actually we added controller support, but yeah, it was very quick. Yeah, you're welcome to play this on a controller too. You might find it easier. Fun fact, the buttons colors actually match that of an Xbox control scheme.
Nice.
So like X is blue and it's left on the 4.
I think just for the sake of the experience, I might try that, but I don't want to try that mid-board, so I'm gonna see if I
You should be able to just plug it in and do it right away, I believe. It should just detect the input. Maybe you have to go to the menu, but I don't think so. Steve?
I'm not worried about technically the game. It's more like,
yeah, you don't want to mess up your mojo.
Yeah, like I've already got a start on this with what my fingers are pressing or not pressing, and oh, that was not how that worked. Okay. Oops.
Yeah, and even though it might have been easier to start with, you might find it harder to switch now just because of kind of learning how you're moving and getting used to just the button presses in general.
Yeah. Okay. Need to. Oh, too soon. Oh. Yeah, that's also a good point about not changing.
But yeah, I get, if you'd like to after this level, that'd be cool actually too, because I'd be curious on your feedback on how it feels on controller if you are interested in that.
So you originally designed it for keyboard, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was originally designed just like around M&K, yeah, and then we put in controller support, I believe, before we released on Steam. I think it was like right before, because we were just kind of like satisfying some of those checklist things that are kind of like display on the Steam page for your game, like cloud saving and controller support, just to kind of give it as much I don't know, give the user as much choices as you can.
Yeah, and we didn't even make the colors the same as the Xbox controller colors on purpose. And then we eventually, when we started putting in the controller support, we realized that they were the same. So we had to reconfigure them. Like the base colors were the same, but they weren't the same orientation, if that makes sense. So we had to go through and reconfigure all that.
So it might be for the best it's been a little bit since you've played this, because I know when I first started playing it after we made that change, I had trouble because I would be pressing on like the old control scheme and then be like, oh no, that's not yellow anymore. Or
I know I need to move. I'm just so convinced I'm gonna die here right now. It's terrible. Oh.
You kind of have to go a little, typically earlier than you think.
Yeah, I think that one might be a little bit of a momentum issue too, in that you want to reach your speed a little bit before you jump into it so that you ensure you make it far enough.
Oh. I mean, a lot about this game, Unit Delta, is in fact deceptively difficult. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Damn.
Yeah, I would say that a lot of our mechanics were kind of designed to be to kind of look simple, especially in World 1, look simple but be a lot more challenging.
So that's actually a good question, QQ. Sorry, I'm looking at chat because I'm not sure now if that is an actual mechanic or if that is me mentally feeling better when I do it.
So you get more jump by holding down spacebar. So like if you hold spacebar, you'll jump for longer. You won't get more jump by moving ahead of time, but if you're moving, you'll get a longer jump just because you're at max speed before you jump. I believe that's the most simple way to explain it. So like, yeah, but yeah, the actual height and the length of the jump should be the same. Yeah, and if anyone has any questions too, Unit is fine to answer it. He's Zach. He worked with us on the game and member of Refraction Games also.
Yeah, so how many people are in your company?
There's 4 of us.
Okay. So that's not the entire class group, if I remember correctly. Is that right?
I think so. I think it was just the 4 of us.
It's just the 4 of you? Okay, I'm confusing you with
Yeah, I think the other
one.
group ended up having 5.
Yeah, we had that big split of like who wanted to do like a game in Unity and who wanted to do like RPG Maker, and we ended up all grouping up. Yeah, the Queen's Quest group had 5.
The other group for Queen's... Oh, Queen's Quest, right. I mean, at this point, I confuse details, right? It's been several semesters that I've taught game design too now, and like I remember individuals and I remember games, but I don't remember details often, like how many people were in the group or which semester exactly it was.
Yeah, I can completely understand that. I mean, I have those problems even as a student when like it would be like easier to remember and you're not like somebody would ask me like, when did you take this class? And be like, I have no idea. I took it within the past 2 years. I remember what happened in the class. But...
Sure.
Yeah.
I think that comes down to like, I mean, because knowing exactly when you did it, a lot of times is just not important information that we need, right?
Exactly. Yeah. You don't really like try to commit that to memory.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you focus for this one.
Fuck.
It's really funny because like I hear your response like a couple seconds before the stream, and I know I always know it's like, oh, and she's gonna die right here.
Yeah, Discord's always so on the app. Mondays alternate between Meet the Dev and World of Warcraft tonight, and that has been a perennial issue when one of my group members are like, well, I'll just turn on your Twitch stream and then I can direct you where to go. And I'm like, no, don't. Because they'll always inevitably say something like, okay, now turn right.
And you're like a second ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So a standard delay is actually like 30 seconds,
Oh,
which
okay.
is actually amazingly long when you're actually trying to like do stuff like directions.
Mm-hmm.
That's it's pretty evident, and it's only like 2 or 3 seconds in this stream.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So it might also be because because of COVID, I share an office, and sometimes my roommate and I are actually streaming at the same time. And so I think a lot of times that's why I get a 30-second delay. We set this up because we had this set up before COVID. And everything was fine because we were never home at the same time. We never streamed at the same time, so it was no problem. And then JK.
Yeah, I guess, and now you're always home at the same time.
Exactly.
I'm actually curious about this too. Zach actually asked a question. So how many other groups, or if any, have tried to like release games that they started working on in game design 2, or I guess game design 1 even, but game design 2 is more digital. So
As far as I know, you are the only group that has actually released a game. I know that I've had a couple other groups who have submitted games to various festivals or conferences for competitions. I've had several groups talk about releasing their games, and then I never hear from them again. So I'm not sure there. I do have one group that after Game Design 1, they they stayed together as a group, and they didn't release that game, but they have now made a different game. So like they're so like the company that they formed came out of being in Game Design 1, but then they restarted a new game. I'm actually going to be streaming their game in 2 or 3 weeks, something like that. But then that's it. That's all.
What's their game like, out of curiosity, or what's the premise of it?
So I haven't had a whole lot of time to look at it, but it is a multiplayer fighter.
Oh, cool.
It seems like a battle royale-esque thing. But there's no single player mode, and I haven't had a chance where me and other people are not working at the same time, so I haven't actually been able to play the game yet.
that's cool though. I'd be interested to check it out.
Yeah, so it'll be in 2 weeks, because next Monday will be WoW, and then it's the Monday after, so whatever that date is on the calendar, I don't know.
Okay.
I find days to be hard when I don't leave my house.
Same. Not to deter from our game, or that game, but I'm just curious, how are you enjoying the pre-patch for Shadowlands thus far?
I find it QQ, today's not Tuesday. It seems, okay, so at this point to me it seems irrelevant. So last Monday we played, I played with my normal group, but we were already max level, so the level squish didn't matter.
it kind of only really matters, I guess, if you're leveling like alts and stuff.
Yeah,
But
so I haven't had a chance to. I do have a couple of alts that I play on occasion, but I haven't had a chance to play them yet. But I'm really curious to see how that's gonna play out. Um, but I almost feel right now like I'm in this weird holding pattern because the character I'm playing on Monday nights was a boosted character. So she doesn't have anything, right? Like her gear is shitty and she doesn't have a lot of money or anything. And we're running into this issue where we're like, well, how much do we want to invest in getting new gear or doing dungeons or whatever because we can just get it all in Shadowlands.
mhm.
So honestly, I just feel like I'm in this holding pattern.
Yeah, I
Um,
can completely understand that. I mean, like grinding pre-expansion is kind of not necessary, really, I guess, because basic gear will eventually just be above that.
right, exactly. And I would actually maybe like to play one of my alts for stream instead, but it doesn't work because I have this like set party. And I don't like people power leveling me, right?
Mhm.
So I can't play any of the alts because then, yes.
Yeah, well, the leveling experience is just like a lot more streamlined now, I'd say, in general. It wouldn't take that long, probably. I think some people are doing it with like XP boosts in like 7 to 8 hours or something like that. But that's like straight power leveling, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is not really as fun of an experience. Like, if I was to do that again, I would have. Oh, nice.
That's hilarious. QQ made a joke about it being Tuesday and Unit Delta had a check. Yeah, so QQ is one of the people who plays with me on Monday nights. Um, so if you want to get his opinion on WoW, that's the thing that could happen. I really need to bio break, so I need to step away for a minute. I'll be right back. Ooh,
No worries.
let me put my.
Do you mind if I link Phaser in chat just in case anybody's
No, please
interested?
do, please do.
Okay, cool. Yeah, if anybody watching the stream wants to check it out, here is a Steam link for our game. If you're interested.
Yeah, it's only $3, but if you're interested in saving some money, maybe it'll go on sale for 50 cents cheaper at some point in the next few months. So waiting a few months might really catch you a pretty penny.
Really curious to see how she's going to enjoy the modified World 1 level 10 if she makes it that far.
Oh yeah, I'm playing with audio off, but I can imagine that listening to the same song over and over and over and over again.
Yeah,
It's getting a little rough.
that's definitely a good change. I also, yeah, have audio off because it's weird to hear myself talk back to me.
Because come to think of it, I haven't actually listened to a stream. I haven't watched a stream of Phaser with the volume on since the patch. So I haven't really been exposed to hour-long loops of it.
Yeah.
If you want to be down here, you need to get in your bed. Hello, I'm back and yelling at the cat. So I wanted to follow up when you asked about linking the game. but I actually had to go to the bathroom bad enough that I couldn't take the time, is yes, please link the game. You know, and maybe in a little while link it again, because, you know, people come in and out of the channel, because my Meet the Dev series is all about the promotion. That is what we're doing here. Alright, she is being, usually I give her a couple of treats and then she just lays down in her bed, but she's just being a little bitch today. I do love my cat, but she is cranky and she is old and she bites. And this is why I occasionally call her bitch.
My brother's cat, it was a rescue, and it really, really, really does not like people. So it took him about a month to get it to like to tolerate him, and now they're obviously like they get along great now after a year or so. But whenever I come over, this cat always hides under the couch and won't come out for hours unless I just sit still and don't move and don't speak for a while.
Streaker is generally pretty friendly. I think she got cranky because I only got her a couple years ago, but she was she belonged to my brother before when he was still living at home, like when he was still in high school. And so she grew up in a household that was very loud and rambunctious. My family is not known for being quiet. And then they also had 2 very loud and rambunctious dogs. And so she kind of grew up in this scenario where she had to also be loud and attention grabbing, or she wouldn't get any. Because that's just kind of how my household is. And now that's not the case, because now I have a roommate and just the cat. And we are, when we're not gaming, much quieter people, but she is just now trained to be cranky.
Maybe a few more years will mellow her out.
She's old. In a few more years, honestly, she's not going to be around. Sorry, so I was pausing before starting again because I was trying to check up on chat, but it looks like chat's taking care of itself, so we shall move on. I may someday go back and try to get that hat in the other in the last board, but I feel like I'm not going to get off that board if I try doing that right now during stream.
Yeah, this is an interesting little spot.
It really is.
Speaking of deceptively simple looking, do you know who made this level, Steven? I can't remember right now. I know it was.
No, this is like the easiest level in the entire game, though. Like it isn't, but it is.
It's pretty easy. It looks even like if you look at this in the Unity editor, I'm always like, I remember seeing it and being like, wow, that is so simple, but it actually does require you to like think a little bit with all this red section.
Shit.
You almost had it actually.
So I had the right idea?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Probably you're gonna need to push out a little further than that because of that one red block there. But you're gonna need to jump. Yeah, you need to jump so you don't hit your head. You're thinking right. There.
Oh, that was really easy. Wow.
Very nice.
I think initially we had it because the next level used to be like impossible, and now it's just like pretty hard.
Yeah, this level
We
is.
wanted a nice little mental break before.
In my opinion, like this level is like the first like major challenge in the game, or at least I mean, it's still pretty tough, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the capstone of
especially
the first
before it
world,
was-
so.
All right, I just want to see. It's not actually possible to get over these, is it? Okay.
You can. You just have to
Really?
jump at the last pixel, yeah. You can jump when you're like 95% off the edge if you need to.
Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh.
Alternatively, you can what I usually do is use 2 jumps if you can think about that to get through this. So you land on the red twice.
Yeah.
Is what I do.
Thinking
typically.
up here and oh no, like I'm thinking I can jump when it's above and then jump up and then jump back onto it when it's over.
Mm-hmm. Like on its little corner.
Yeah, I feel like those words didn't actually make sense coming out of my mouth.
No, it makes sense. I get you. At least I think so.
I have this bad habit of also pointing at the screen with my fingers and then realizing nobody can see it. Thank you for the hydrate, QQ.
Yeah, sometimes I'll like hover my mouse over something on the screen. I'm like, oh wait, this isn't in my stream. Nobody.
Okay, so I think what I want to do. Nope. Wait, maybe that doesn't work? Oh, fuck.
You kind of have to over predict it if you want to do it that way.
Whoa, okay. So I think.
There too.
Yes!
Get that running jump.
Oh, wow. Oh, shit. I'm gonna go back and die, aren't I?
Mm-hmm.
Oh! Okay. Let me just. Okay, I can do this. Oh, too soon.
Pretty close.
Oh, shit! Oh.
It's kind of meant to be like that, so that you kind of like the first time you make it there, you kind of panic, and then you kind of have to be prepared and collected for the next.
Yes, you do a good job of inducing panic. Oops, whoops, So I think, like, intellectually, I think I need to, like, start jumping while the blue's turned off, get through the vertical, and then switch so I can jump onto the horizontal. Like, that's what my brain is telling me to do. Whether or not my fingers are going to be able to do that is another thing. I do remember you guys talking about it being an auto runner. And so that the only thing you would do is switch the colors. And I feel like that would have been so hard. Oh my god.
Yeah, because the current way the game is, there's at least some change of pace. Like sometimes you have to be running around and jumping and making quick things, but sometimes you have to just sit and think for a second and plan out your moves. Which in an auto runner obviously would not be a comfort whatsoever.
Oh, so close. Yeah, I also think you guys dropped that pretty quickly, right? Because I don't think I think by draft 1, it was not an auto runner. You were already moved to this. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe so. I think that after draft 1, you could definitely move around freely. So it seemed like a good idea at the time because I think we were just trying to come up with like more things to set it apart in a way. But then, yeah, and we kind of ditched that idea fairly early on and moved on to like because we then decided we kind of wanted like a puzzle aspect to it, which I think actually suits the final version of it a lot more.
Yeah, so I really like it this way. And Unit Delta mentioned, I don't know if you guys in voice or seeing chat, mentioned about still wanting to do an auto runner. And I could see a version of this where, I don't know, you made like a mobile game and it was an auto runner, like spin-off of this game.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like having this many controls in a mobile game would be possible but difficult.
Yeah, that's a good point because we were toying around with making a mobile version of it, and yeah, one of our biggest problems was trying to fit the controls comfortably on the screen while not overwhelming the user and all that.
God
And
damn
yeah, I
it!
think oh
Sorry, I am
yeah,
actually listening to you.
no, that's good. I wanted to give you a second there. That's the truly hard part right there of this level, in my opinion.
So I'm sorry, you were thinking of I did miss a part of what you said though, because I started swearing. But you said you were thinking about doing mobile.
Yeah, we toyed around with the idea, and I think our biggest challenge there kind of was trying to figure out how we could comfortably work the controls onto the screen and still make it playable and fun, uh, without making it just frustrating that you couldn't basically do what you wanted to do. And I think that's a really good idea, actually, if we made like a modified version of it where it was an auto runner, or you like ran at like a slower speed or something, um, and then all they'd have to focus on is the jumping and the color switching at the right times.
Mm-hmm.
I think we hadn't really thought of that because once we moved to mobile as production, we kind of thought about, okay, well, how do we make this game, what we have here, work on mobile with the levels in it? But I think a redesign of the
Right.
levels or just new levels with an auto runner feature would actually probably be better suited for that. Keep distracted you at the hard part.
Um, yeah, I mean, I don't see this being like a direct port over to mobile, but most games aren't, right? So I guess it would
Hmm.
depend on, um, uh, what you want to do because I know, and this is like a personal preference. I know some people who can keep working on the same game or versions of the same game for like years and years and years and they don't get bored. But I also know people who they make a game, they finish it, and then that completion means something and they have to start a new project, right? So like if you
Mhm.
guys wanted to do mobile, I could see this, with the auto run, I could see it being really cool and really popular. Um, and not to mention the fact that like mobile gaming is such a huge market. Um, but then also, it sounds like you guys have already been talking about trying to move on, right? Because you talked about like learning more. Um, I literally forgot what you said, but you wanted to make something like 3D and fancier.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, originally I think we were thinking of doing like a mobile release and stuff of the game, and then we got the grant with the project for the university, and then we kind of just also thought that like maybe gaining skills in 3D and stuff would probably be a better move for us for the future.
Yeah. I'm actually really glad that we did this today because in a couple of weeks I am supposed to give a uh shit state of the game certificate update to the department, and it'd be great to be able to be like, hey, yeah, and these former students got this contract with the university. Because you always
Well,
gotta justify what you're doing. By
oh,
which
for
I mean
sure.
what I'm teaching.
I mean, I'm just happy that by the time I graduated or we graduated, that there was the game design certificate, because I know that wasn't a thing when I first came in to UW, and I remember like discovering it and being pretty excited about it, because it was kind of like a thing that I imagine, like I could see part of the university kind of like being like, oh well, we teach this, we teach that, we don't need to teach games, quote, but like I think you've done a really good job with like at least the classes that I've taken with you and so on. I think that it's good that it's good to have success stories for them, so that people can kind of see that it is impactful.
Yeah, it
Kind of.
does. It does help. A lot of the problem actually comes from higher ups not believing me when I tell them that students want to take this class because it costs the university money if nobody enrolls, right? And
Hmm.
the fact that people think this is hilarious to me because in reality, I have these massive wait lists for all my classes. And I'm like, no, we don't have a problem with low enrollment. Like, we could literally hire more people and we'd still fill the classes. The only time I've ever had a class not full is when I have uh, had it at like bad times in the day.
Oh yeah, that just like conflicts with too many requirements, especially like if it's like in CS or like a competing field kind of like that people are working on, I imagine.
Yeah, CS in particular, because so many of the certificate people are CS. But also, along with what you were saying about the certificate, is you're right, it wouldn't have been a thing when you started because the game design certificate was not an option until just 2 years ago.
Yeah, that makes sense, because I remember like 'cause I was doing like a CS and a mathematics certificate, and I remember just seeing that pop up, and I was like, this is like, I've never heard of this. Like I can't believe I hadn't heard of this. And I don't know if it was you or a counselor or something that told me, but yeah, it was like just like added like when I first started looking at it, and I remember thinking like that was just like really lucky actually, because like 2 years later or even like a year later, where I wouldn't have had enough time to take the courses,
Hmm.
would have been would have really changed my future, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm glad it worked out. We're not that's gonna help you guys any, but we are actually trying to expand the program. Did holy crap!
Oh.
Oops.
Oh.
Uh, I'm guessing that was not intended, or was it a feature? I don't know.
um it's kind of it's one of the things that we tried to patch out, but then in the end, kind of like, if you patch it out, it kind of created more trouble than it was worth, and very rarely can that actually change the outcome. If you're stuck on the corner side and you've overjumped it, you can kind of keep yourself there, but you can't really like recover very well.
All right, I need to think this through. So once I get to that point,
That's pretty hard. That
Yeah,
part
it's
of
more of
it.
an
I'll
aesthetic
be
bug, if that makes sense.
totally honest. Yeah, yeah. It kind of sucks that you're already dead, but it's also kind of funny in some ways, and it would have caused some problems. So we kind of just decided to leave it in. Yeah, it's always been elusive. That's a good way to put it.
oops, no. Actually, I think I remember that from one of the class playthroughs on a different level where I wound up on the side. Ooh, I jumped way too soon there. Oh, user error. No.
Ooh.
Now I'm just getting nervous. Oh, shit. Oh. Low priority, high severity bug. Why is it? Okay, why would you call it high severity? QQ. Sorry, QQ is a professional software tester.
Oh, cool. It's good to have such feedback here from all of you. Yeah, I'm curious about, I mean, low priority, high severity. I guess it is pretty impactful. But at the same time, it doesn't really mess with anything, so.
I mean, is it possible to recover from that or no?
I have never personally. I don't know what you would say, Steven. I would say no.
I don't believe it's possible. I've never successfully recovered from anything with that before.
You're kind of dead actually
Oh,
at that point.
fuck.
But it doesn't ooh, yeah. You have the right idea, kind of.
Kind of.
No, it's just that one's really challenging. I found that when I was like trying to test for like no death runs to be pretty irritating.
I cannot imagine doing a no death run on this game. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, I understand that it would be possible, but I cannot imagine me being capable of that. Yeah, I mean, from having seen it before, I remember also thinking that it was not something worth, whoops, um, the amount of time it was taking. Which actually, congrats on you guys for treating it that way, because one thing that I sometimes struggle to warn students of, or even if I do, they don't believe me, is how easy it can be to get fixated on one problem and then the whole game fails because you didn't do anything else.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. High severity because it's a
Ah,
not a
shit.
situation.
I gotta turn the green off. I gotta turn the yellow off and then the green? You know, one of the things that actually makes this really challenging is there's no like black box where I can sit and look at that.
Yeah, you very much have
Actually,
to.
there is one.
What there is?
Yeah, so if you want to sit on top of that wall of blue, you can do that.
That's true too.
Oh.
You can ride
So
the
rather than jumping
red up.
through the blue, you can ride the red a little higher and go and chill on top of the wall for a second, see what's up.
Oh my god, I never thought of that. And now that you say it, it's so obvious.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that earlier, but I didn't really want to tell you because I thought you might just dawn on you. It's still a tight jump though, because you have to kind of get up, but not be heading back down. But yeah, I think with back to the bug situation, like how we looked at it was like basically if you wouldn't have died without the bug and you do die, we considered those to be like the most essential bugs to fix, in that it would harm the player experience because you know, you reach a point and you know that it wasn't your fault. You're like, well, the game screwed up, and I think that those kind of took priority. Whereas this, it's kind of like you miss the jump when it happens, so it's kind of like not extra punishing. Here, I'll let you focus on this part.
Oh my god. So I just need to talk about this out loud. So I feel like I have to wait until the blue is at the top peak of its course. Because I can't wait, because that's when it's closest to the right?
Well, as far as getting on the blue, I mean, you could get on the blue pretty much whenever until it reaches its peak. But you obviously cannot be like on the blue when it passes through the green, unless because you can't shut green off and keep blue on.
Right. I like how Unit Delta's all like, I think we made this level easier by increasing the speed of the platforms by 15%. Like, I can't imagine it being harder.
Well, it was definitely the part you're facing right now was definitely way more challenging, I think, at the time because so like think about it. So if you land on the blue and then you're shutting off the green so you can go through the green, but the blue needs to be low enough so you can land back on the blue. I don't know if I just spoiled it there by saying that, but
No, I'm also relatively fine with. So the way I describe it when new people come to the channel is I'm fine with backseat gaming, but not hand holding. So like if people tell me how to get through a puzzle or give me general hints, I'm fine with that. If somebody tries to like micromanage what I'm playing, then I get upset.
that makes sense. Yeah, I think that backseat gaming is like for example, like The Witcher. Since you brought that up, that's a game that you really would have to watch out for that because I wouldn't want anyone to tell me like what's gonna happen if I didn't know.
Yeah, no, because that's like story spoilers, but sometimes in Witcher, like I know this definitely happened in the first Letho fight for Witcher 2, um, where um, there's a lot of chatter about what strat to use to get over the fight.
Do you just like Ard spam him or like I think you can like knock him back, right? And then you can hide behind that like centerpiece in the area for the Letho fight.
That's the last Letho fight, so there's actually two Letho
Oh right,
fights.
yeah, yeah. So I was
Um,
thinking about the end. The end one is optional, I think, technically,
it
because you can
is
choose to spare
optional,
him.
yes.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, but the first one I actually really struggled with. And it didn't even feel like backseat gaming actually, because I think most of the people in chat had not themselves played the game.
Mm,
So they were just coming up with ideas.
more like brainstorming rather than
Right.
directing.
And I was fine with it because it was actually somebody in chat who was finally like, why don't you try playing it with a controller? And then I beat the game. Or the fight.
Nice.
Oh shit. That's not what I wanted to do. I do greatly appreciate that you guys have a death counter.
Yeah, I think that we really tried to focus on making sure the game was entertaining for players of like all skill levels, and that like if you're not the greatest, there's a practice mode, so you can still experience everything. If you get stuck on something, if you just want to play it through normally and enjoy that as a challenge, that's an option. And then also if you're like really insanely good, you get through all the levels and you're like bored, there's speed run mode, customizables like that you can unlock, and like collectibles that you can unlock, and stuff like that, so that there's like a lot of different varying parts of gameplay that you could kind of get into. I think some of my favorite games that I've played all kind of have something like that, where it's like I can play this when I'm in this mood, but I can also play it when I'm in this mood. If I want to sweat it out and jump on speedrun mode, if you want to, just chill back and relax, you can go hunt collectibles, like that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, and that obviously makes the game more commercially viable because then you have more types of people who can play it. And also, Unit Delta, you are correct. I was gonna not say that, but I do remember right at draft
Yeah.
1 being like, you should add a death counter. Which partially, I mean, I personally really like death counters, but then also I really support them in games because I've learned from streaming that from both me streaming and watching other people stream that people like death counters. Like it's not just a me thing. People really like to see their failures tally up. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's the same for other people, but like when I do finally get over something or I finally beat the game, I love to be able to see the perseverance of I died that many times, but I did it.
Yeah.
Need a minute. Oh, yeah, I forgot to okay, so I have a question for you because we're actually like a little more than halfway to what I normally stream on Mondays. You said there was a practice mode where you wouldn't have to go through all the worlds in order. Is that correct?
You can access it from the main menu.
Will exit take me there?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna try that because I just want to show off more of the game.
Play.
Oh my god, I'm on the last one of Vibrant Valley. I didn't realize that. Oh god.
No, the decision's tough.
Yeah. Shit.
It does ease up a little bit following that level too, like a little bit. That level's definitely like the last level of each world is meant to kind of be a extra challenge.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, that's like fighting a big bad at the end of a
Yeah, like a
level.
boss.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's not waste this entire stream on the boss battle then. I mean, I personally will go back.
So if you want to go Vibrant Valley 2, then you can click practice mode in the lower right.
Cool. Yes, I will definitely personally go back to beat this entire game, but I'm getting too frustrated in the stream right now.
No, it's all good. So what practice mode is there for?
Oh god, like this doesn't look any better.
Okay, maybe I lied. I thought it got a
Oh.
little. It's a little less, I guess, speed challenging. It might be more mentally challenging.
Okay, hold on. I just need to.
Yeah, the whole point of practice mode, like just as Unit Delta said there, you can place your own checkpoints, which I believe
I missed that.
is R, right? Steven, correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a while since I played practice mode.
Sorry, what did you say?
What's the keybind again? For C.
C.
That's right. Makes sense because checkpoint. Forgot
does.
what our bind was.
C
There.
for checkpoint.
Yeah. Also, quickly, I'm gonna just in case. Whoops. Just in case anybody wants to check it out, I'll link it one more time in case people came in and out of the stream.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, do check it out. The game is, um, it's very engaging. It's very, um, it's not, it's not easy. Like, it's definitely a puzzle game, and it's a puzzle game that's just, it's different than, um, than a lot of what's out there. In fact, I can only think of one. I can only think of one other game where you manipulate both an avatar and the environment. Like, it's just not something you commonly see, um, and it really adds to the challenge and the enjoyment of this game. Also, I just checked. I mean, it's what? It's like $2.99 on Steam. Is that right?
Yep, $2.99.
Yeah, it's a steal. You should go buy it.
I very much appreciate you saying that. We hope it feels like a good value. There's 30 levels, and there's plenty you can do within those levels even after you finish the game, with speedrun and customizables and stuff like that, and achievements.
Damn. It is. It honestly actually is, right? So like in general, when I'm looking to buy games, that's one of the things I think about is I look at how many dollars it is, and then I look at how many hours of enjoyment I can expect to get out of it. Now, granted, with existing games, I usually just look that up online and, time to beat.
Mm-hmm.
But this game, like, even after playing just 1 or 2 levels, it's obvious to see that you're going to get more than $3 worth of enjoyment from this game. Absolutely. And
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
why I say it's a steal.
theoretically, you could beat the game in like 10 minutes, but to beat the game in like 10 minutes, you would need to play quite a bit to get to that point. So, I mean, like, it definitely, I hope it represents a good value.
Yeah, the guy who beat it in 10 minutes said he spent like 14 hours on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You're not going to do that without. So I would say, like, if I was thinking about this, I wouldn't say time to beat is 10 minutes. Time to beat is like maybe 15 hours, and a speed run is 10 minutes, right? But you can't discount that practice time when thinking about it. So I feel, oh crap. I'm convinced that I have the right idea here. I'm not sure if that's what's actually killing me. Whoa.
I think you have the right idea. I think you just have to kind of move initially before. Yep.
It feels like cheating. I mean, it's practice mode, but so it's not because it's about practice, but putting a checkpoint somewhere just feels like fundamentally like I'm doing something wrong.
Like the point of it though is that there's like
Sorry.
that's the checkpoints there.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to cackle and cut you off.
You're good.
Oh, I was gonna say something. I remember now.
Oh,
I was gonna
sorry.
say. Oh no, I just forgot. I lost my train of thought. But I was just gonna
what?
say.
Oh, crap.
Deep in thought.
You can put a checkpoint right here. You can put as many as you want.
It just feels so wrong. It's hard. Okay.
But part of them, it's not that you can like finish the level faster. It's more so that like when you're playing, it's very difficult to test like later jumps. You have to beat all the other jumps to get to those. So it's not like you can try it. Try the last jump 5 times. You have to like get to it like 50 times. You know. make all the other jumps first. So this is just a way to allow people to try some of the later jumps out without having to get to it over and over and over and over again.
Well, right, and even going further along, I feel like it would help some of the earlier ones just because you'd have more practice in thinking about these types of puzzles, and also just the like muscle memory aspect of which button is which, because even with the little key down in the left hand corner, which is great and very helpful, it's like I'm not always looking at it, so there's been a couple of times where I've died because I just hit the wrong arrow. Whoa. Oh, there we go. Am I? I wonder if I'm just... Alright, it appears that I can jump high enough. Fuck, I had it. Oh. Just gonna checkpoint after every single jump. Oh man. Oh shit. Oh shit. But that was a really bad place for a checkpoint. Or really good. Oh shit, I was right there! I was right there! Oh my god! Yo! Fuck.
Ooh.
I was on top of it.
Basically there.
Oh my god. It's ridiculous. What? No. What? Um.
Remember, you can make a checkpoint if you want to.
Yes, thank you for the reminder. Oh. I'm a little too entertained by what happens when the block's not there, but the checkpoint is.
Yeah, actually, it was just originally something we thought about maybe like changing so that you know you wouldn't die over and over. But I mean, it's practice mode. You're placing a checkpoint. It kind of just makes sense that you would like it's just wherever you are.
It's kind of funny too to see it
It is
spazzing
kind
out
of
for a
funny.
second. Like, die, 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 die,
Yeah.
die. And
Well, and it doesn't actually break anything because once it does that, I can just hit that color and then it always
Hmm.
is just fine, right? Like if it was
yeah.
like glitching the game out or something, that'd be different. But
Yeah, there's no
No, just a
situation
few
where you
unnecessary
can't
deaths.
progress really with that.
But practice mode deaths don't count towards anything, so it doesn't really matter.
yeah.
Oh, this one. Right?
Oops. What? Oh, shit! Oh, I didn't do checkpoints. Oh, sad.
Oh, you can get that part again though.
I mean, yeah, actually, after the last couple of, I'm just gonna die now. This seems like, this little part here seems like easy sauce after the last couple.
I think this level is kind of meant to be. I don't remember exactly how. Oh yeah, it's kind of meant to be a little bit more like you're supposed to kind of be confused by like all the stuff that's going on, but it's not mechanically as challenging.
Oh yeah, I could definitely see that because there's a lot of moving parts, and we're moving more up rather than over to the right.
Yeah, we definitely put in a few vertical levels with like a vertical scheme to them, kind of for variety. I think it helps a lot. Checkpoint.
Oh no, I know. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh wait, that's there. Okay, that's better. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
That was.
Yeah, this one is another very deceptively. Yeah, this one can be tough. This is deceptively simple, deceptively challenging.
Yeah, it be especially because so up to this point I've already gotten used to, you know, the triangles versus the squares, but having the blue squares and the blue triangles right next to each other, um, it's kind of fucking with my sense of what button I want to press.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of meant to go against your grain.
Exactly. Oops.
And it's
Oops.
kind of pixel perfect.
Yeah, I see that. Okay.
See, like you almost had it there. You just had to switch back. Like, well, not back, but
Whoops.
you know what I
Alright,
mean.
here. Just put that in my muscles. Alright. What if I'm going for the red way too fast.
I'd say it's definitely the hardest part about the jump is like switching back to red, but not doing it too early or too late, because you really only have like a millisecond, couple milliseconds where you're like in that spot. There you go. Nice.
Okay, I see what's going on here.
It's kind of the inverse.
Oops. Oh, shit. Wait. Well, there we go. Oh, that's. Oh.
Ooh. Yeah, if you don't shut it off fast enough, it's gonna like stunt your jump.
Yep. Yep. Oh shit, I was gonna try it with the controller and then I didn't. Just forgot.
It should work right away if you have one handy.
I do.
If you want to try it out.
It does. Alright, let's see how this goes. Oops.
It might be when you finish level or, but there we go. I'm not sure if the control scheme is gonna change right away. On the lower left, you can see it.
Yeah, nice. Impressive. Alright, mostly because. Let me switch cameras. Hold on.
And I believe RB
feel
is in your checkpoint button.
Yeah.
What were you gonna
I
say,
feel like the
Steven?
color switching feels better on a controller, but the jump feels a little strange just because jump is typically A in like every single game ever. But
True.
obviously the colors make more sense bound to those buttons in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I just like my controller because I can kick my feet up.
Mm-hmm.
I call this the pajama party because it's about being relaxed. Wait, why did it do that? That's weird.
Did you interact with your keyboard?
Oh, I did. Okay.
It should switch back. It just
Yeah, it
gives you
did.
a second there. Yeah.
Okay.
It just goes off the last input used. I feel that with Bumper Jumper from Halo. I think it's just like, LB didn't feel too bad because just at the end of the day, it's really nice to kind of have that jump completely separated from your move and color switch keys. Because like with the whole jump, it would be hard, I think, for A.
Yeah, and this feels like um well, yeah, because otherwise you'd have to put one of the colors somewhere else. That would be super awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you guys did that. You did that right. Oops. I keep just forgetting to jump though.
You're also jumping right in, like switching schemes can be hard. Like even if you logically understand the controls, the like kinetics of it.
Oh,
Ooh.
absolutely. I'm gonna play worse, and I wasn't even playing that great before.
It's definitely a challenging game.
Oh, so close. Oh no. Yeah, so Unit Delta is saying the colors could have been the triggers, but that would have been.
The triggers are also, at least on Xbox controllers, technically like an axis, I think, right? Like 0 to 255 or whatever, it's something like that. The way
Yeah.
they're actually recorded, which you could have just had any press, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm using an Xbox controller. I am also admittedly pressing A when I want to jump, but that's just a question of learning the thing.
Yeah, I think that's everybody's first thought is to push A.
Oh my god. Oh.
Oh, so close.
You're definitely right there.
Now, this is just a question of timing now because I can see what I need to do. Oops, that was. Also, stop pressing A to jump. So when you guys play, do you play on the keyboard or with controller? What do you prefer?
I use keyboard just 'cause I'm used to it. I feel like it would have been too much work to unlearn it and then relearn on controller.
Same. I guess I gravitate towards keyboard because that's like how we had been using it, like when we were testing it, like all along. So it just seems most familiar to me. But I'd say that like when we first made it, I think I actually like, enjoyed the controller scheme more, but then gravitated back. But yeah, I think either control scheme feels very viable, but I typically prefer mouse and keyboard on most games that I play. Even games that doesn't necessarily quite make sense, just because I don't know. I like using my mouse and my keyboard.
Hey, I mean, different people have different preferences. I was just curious.
Yeah, it was kind of important for us that you could switch on the fly, which I think actually turned out really well because I even know like some AAA games where it's like you plug in a controller mid game and it gets very confused.
Yeah.
Or like it'll switch to controller, but then it won't switch back or something like that. But yeah, I think it was good that we set up this way because you could basically have both connected and then like switch depending on your preference after trying both out without having to like cumbersomely exit the game or go to the control schemes and like the options or anything like that.
Yeah, you guys actually did a really good job with that. Like you said, better than some AAA games. I don't want to give up on the controller now because I just.
Yeah, honestly, we kind of tossed that UI. I mean, the controller switching on the fly, it just works how there's like they both work as the input, but then UI in the bottom left, I think that turned out pretty nice. So we kind of just did that in like one afternoon, really.
Yeah, we didn't spend an obnoxiously long time on the UI. We just kind of all got for that little corner part, I should say. We got all together and we kind of just like doing a Discord call, like came up with the design for it, tried sizing it right and having it switch, and it was nice.
There it is. Don't forget to put a checkpoint down because that one doesn't work. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
I did, I did.
Alright,
Because it looked a little faded out, so I thought
Yeah.
maybe that was the thing.
Yeah, it's because we
Very
kind of
good.
like override the checkpoints to do the practice mode. So
Oh, so if I
it
wasn't
didn't
in
really
practice mode, that would be an
a
actual
real
checkpoint?
checkpoint. So the light ones, the ones that are faded out in practice, show you where the checkpoints would have been in the real level.
Oh, and I didn't do a checkpoint. Sad. I used to be almost exclusively a keyboard gamer until I started working from home. And now switching to a controller makes me feel like I'm less at work.
I can understand that. Yeah.
Because I used to do all my work in my office. And now I haven't been in my office since March and I'm a little scared to go back.
Completely understandable. Oh yeah, that's another point too. Zach made that. Yeah, we didn't really want to override your previous checkpoint, so in case you wanted to like keep trying to do that red to green jump just to get better at it. You know, we wouldn't want you to accidentally hit the checkpoint marker and then force you to move on.
Right, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, that's what a am I sliding?
Your controller might have a teeny bit of drift. I don't know.
It might. This
But-
thing is super old and abused quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, basically like it will move a little bit even if it's like only like, 1 degree to the left or the right. Slower obviously, but oh, rough. Oh. Yeah, if we just had like a small cutoff for the for like the very low values for that, that would prevent that even with a small drift on the controller, which might not be a bad idea. But it never seemed like overly detrimental, so
It doesn't seem like it either. Or to me, I mean, it seems fine. Okay.
especially if you're like giving it a command at the time, like that'll be where you're moving anyway, so it's not like it's gonna overwrite, like make you move back when you're trying to move forward.
Why am I? Okay.
Ooh.
The triangles just screw with me. Doo -doo -doo. I think I
Oh, this one's
remember
fun.
this.
Yeah, this is a cool one. I think I remember seeing you like get out the pencil and paper for this one when we did it last time. That was like that second stream.
I think what I really, really like about that little square right there is that I remember my first time coming into this and just looking at it and being like, that's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it looks so difficult, but then actually it's definitely one of those things where it's like, oh no, actually.
Recommend making a checkpoint down here. Yeah.
scarf.
Mm-hmm.
But ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. I don't remember. Fuck.
Yeah, it's the right start.
Okay.
And there's also like multiple ways probably to make it through this. I just know the path that I take. And obviously this scarf requires you to go to a spot you like wouldn't have to go to were you trying to finish the level.
Right. But I want it. No, that's not gonna happen, is it now?
Oh, well, you have the right idea. You're trying to get onto that the back of that yellow, right? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yes.
Back of the yellow spike. So you see, you can't. Obviously, you can't switch to green because that will occupy your spot. Yeah.
Right.
But now.
So the thing with the checkpoint in the maze is I could see myself getting stuck halfway through. Or is that maybe not possible? To like go the wrong way and get stuck? I don't know. We can live dangerously and do it. Okay, so this is a blue triangle behind me, alright? I can't believe that worked. Fuck! Oh, damn it. Okay.
You can replace your checkpoint directly in the center if you want it to not happen when you die like that again.
Okay, I think. Nope. Oh, that did not work. Okay. And why did I die
I wouldn't try to go directly down.
there? Yeah, I'm realizing that now. Because that's a red triangle I'm in front of. But
You can get there with one colored switch from where you are. Yep. Nice.
oops. Whoa. Oh, wow. Okay.
But I think your initial move was good.
Oops. Oh, fuck.
Or you could. I don't want to. I'll let you work it out.
Alright, I cannot turn on blue.
Mm.
Let's turn on red, turn on green. Nope. It's not gonna work. Hmm.
Nice. Oh, thank God you put that checkpoint. I didn't see that for a second. I was like, oh no.
Oh, hey Kenichi, how are you? Welcome to the channel. So, we're playing Phaser today. You're gonna hear two other voices in Discord. Maybe since we are a little ways into the stream, they'll introduce themselves again. But this is a indie game. The two voices in Discord are two of the four designers. Did I remember that correctly?
Yep.
Talking about
Yeah, that's right.
making a phaser. And also, since we're doing a promo stream, why don't you guys just link that game back in there, and I will
Yeah.
let you guys introduce yourselves now.
All right.
You go ahead. Oh, I can link
Yeah,
it. You go ahead.
I'm Steven. I'm one of the devs on the game. I work on a lot of the menus and UI system and a lot of statistics handling, leaderboards and achievements and such. And yeah, so we started out as students in Dr. Malone's class, or numerous of her classes, I suppose. Then we decided we were going to take this game to the next level and get it published, and it's working on it over quarantine, and we got it done.
Did quarantine help?
I think
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not
without a
having
doubt.
anything. Yeah, not having anything else to really have to do really kind of helped us buckle down and actually get it to full release. But yeah, I'm James Foreman, also a member of Refraction Games LLC, and yeah, we took this concept from when we started working on it in Professor Malone's class and took it to full release. And you can check out if you want anybody's interested, you can check it out on Steam. I linked it in there for anyone who's interested.
I'm just going to throw in there because they said when they were taking Professor Malone's class, I'm Professor Malone.
Oh yeah, sorry. I probably should narrate differently than that. Being in school has like broken my mind for that stuff.
No, that's fine. It's I just
Gamer Anthros class.
I just wanted to put it in context. No, I dox myself all the time, so it doesn't actually matter, right? That you called me Professor Malone, but at the same time, not everyone is around when I dox myself, so I didn't really know actually if Kenichi knew my name. If Steven is looking at chat, what would you think about turning Life Isn't Fair into a video game?
Ooh, I don't know. We have to do it. We have to balance it very carefully. That's the thing. Like, I think we balance it pretty well, but we balance it in once again in the scope of a class project. You know, so we have to really go through and make sure. Oh, for anyone in chat who's wondering, Life Isn't Fair was yeah, pretty much. It was a board game we made, and essentially the concept of it is that everyone sort of just gets dealt random hands, and you can either cooperate with others or compete with others. And the goal is to get through life without dying. Well, I think actually the goal was to die happy at the end of life, die with a nice retirement, and without any serious underlying issues. But it was a very dark humor based game, and I don't know. I don't know how it would work as a video game.
This part can be quite challenging, by the way.
I hadn't noticed. Oh my god. Okay, so alright. Let me just play with these a little bit. So if this is on, then the green arrows are off. Is there... Nope. What if I want... There's no scenario, is there, where the triangle is off and I can stand on the thing?
You can't really
No,
wait.
unfortunately
no.
not.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Oh, yes. Okay. And then red. Okay. I have an idea.
Like what you're
Fuck.
thinking.
Yeah, I'm thinking go through. Like, concentrate on the arrows and not on the squares. Unless you wait in those cubbies. What cubbies? What are you talking about? Oh, if the arrows are turned off, I suppose that's the thing. Hey?
Yeah, you could back up into like one of those. There's a lot of different ways you can approach this. You can do that for a breather and then go again. You can land like halfway through, then shut that off and fall the way through. You can fall directly through, but that's fairly challenging because there's also like one set off screen, which is kind of by design.
Okay. Okay. Can do this. Can do this.
Yeah, that's how I used to do it initially.
Whoops. Oh. Whoops. Oh, that's right. Those are on. Hey, whoops. There we go. Paying attention. I mean, thankfully, because it's practice mode, it's not like a super huge deal, but it's definitely, a
Yeah,
new
for anyone
thing.
who may have recently joined, yeah, she's playing in practice mode, so that's why she doesn't restart the level when she dies there. Typically, you would. She's able to place her own checkpoints, which in hopes of getting through like more of the game, we went to practice mode.
Also,
Yeah.
there's a collectible off to the left over there.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. Oh,
If you're interested in
yeah.
a gold chain.
Yeah, so I went through almost the entire first world and then basically got to the last level, like the boss level, and decided that I didn't want to subject stream to watching me do one level for the next hour and a half, and so I went into practice mode. Oh, turn it off. Oh, there we go. I also just switched from keyboard to controller,
Yeah,
which
maybe
I think is making a difference.
You're welcome to switch back if you'd want to. I mean,
I really
like,
don't, though.
Now you want to stick with it, okay?
It's the whole mental space thing of like, because I work at this computer now.
Oh yeah, like you were saying earlier.
besides, I feel like the controls are actually mapped really well. It's just a question of me getting used to them. Um, and it's not like I'd played it that far with the keyboard. Can I? Oh, no. You know, so I feel like I can definitely um, just keep going from here. And
Nice.
whew, wow, that was something.
Checkpoint.
Yeah, yeah.
This part is actually like deceptively easy if you can like get the rhythm of it, if that makes sense.
I'm guessing that what you mean by that is the rhythm of turning the arrows off and on.
Sorta, yeah. I don't want to backseat drive too much. It's up to you how much you want me to backseat drive or not here.
Wait, how is this? Oh, damn it. So I keep forgetting that if I click off to like click something on stream, that when I come back, it's not there. It's a me problem.
It honestly messed with me a little bit too when I was playing with controller, because I also I have a second monitor that like I'll sometimes check something on and then come back and it'll switch, but it's kind of like it was either that or like basically not have it easily switch on the fly.
Oh, fuck. I thought I had it. I thought I was so smooth.
Pretty close. Oop. So remember the black platform will stay no matter what color switch you choose.
Yeah.
So if you were to like shut those off and move into like the red lane there, you wouldn't be dealing with the yellows anymore.
Yeah, I think I just kind of like teased myself because
Yellow.
I made it so far the first time around. Which I'm guessing was just dumb luck.
It's definitely possible, I think, to do just by moving around there, but kind of the advantage to this one is that you can freely switch your colors because you are on a black platform. Feel
Yeah, so
like-
also for people who have joined us since I started, in the left-hand corner you can see which buttons I'm pressing. And this is basically color switching. That's the main thing you do to get past the things. Which I will be honest, when you guys brought your proposal forward and you're like, the main thing is going to be color switching, I was like, what? No?
I think it ended up working out fairly well though. Like we kind of just wanted to have something like super unique that would kind of set it apart. And yeah, I agree. Like Zach, that I did not realize how many things we could do with that when we first came up with the idea.
Oh fuck, that wasn't green. And that's just it. So that was when you first said color switching. It sounded so simplistic, and I was like, well, okay. And you know, for class, it's just supposed to be a prototype. So I'm like, whatever. It can be simplistic because that's enough to take you through a semester. But yeah, you guys have gotten so much mileage out of this, which is great.
I think it's also cool too that I really like a game when they kind of take a mechanic that is like core to the game, kind of is like almost part of its identity, and then kind of find a way to use that in many places so it somehow doesn't get boring. Oop, close.
I'm like forgetting now. Green is A. Green is A. Okay.
Yeah, that's true too. And yeah, for anyone who just joined, who doesn't hadn't been watching through the whole time, so the color you pick shuts off that respective spike and turns on that respective like platform or block. So basically you can
Oh, look, jump,
oh.
jump! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh no!
Oh.
So close.
Rip.
Rip the dream.
You had it though. That was pretty much all you had to. That was the hard part.
So interesting. So Unit Delta said, I think the real meat of the game happened when we realized it wouldn't make sense to have spikes and blocks work the same way. So when we reversed them, it allowed us to make a lot of cool levels. I don't know if this is a question of me remembering or if it's a question of me not realizing it, but I don't think I realized / remember spikes and blocks ever working the same. I thought they were always reverse of each other.
I think we decided it fairly early, for sure by the second playtest, because I know some of these levels, some Steven or Zach, you might remember better than I, but I'm pretty sure that that we decided on that method fairly early. It was just it wasn't what we originally thought when we first came up with the idea for the game.
Yeah, I don't think Zach meant that or Unit Delta meant that we changed our minds midway through, but we were just while we were developing. I don't know if we initially had that idea, then all of a sudden it was like, oh well, if we do this, we'll have a lot more options for levels. And that was still in the brainstorming phase, but once we realized that we could do that, it was like, oh wow, we actually might have a concept here.
Yeah, initially it was like, oh, color switching, you turn on different things. Like it was like, okay, but it was like when we wanted to have spikes and blocks and all that, but then once we got to the point where it was like, okay, like now we have spikes, it's like, well, it would be very trivial. Like think of this level, if you turned on one spike, you just turn on like yellow, dodge the first group, and then you're free, you're home free.
Yeah.
For these types of levels. And it just made more sense in the end, even though it intuitively is kind of weird to have it turn off and turn on, but depending on like whether it's a spike or not. But
Shit.
yeah, exactly as Unit said. We were originally like thinking that they'd work the same, but then we found it would be really it's hard to even have the spikes be a worthwhile mechanic if it worked the same way.
I feel like I'm so close every single time. And then... Oh! Fuck! Ah!
I think green would have had you there.
So I still keep like going and checking what button is what, and that is not how this needs to be done, because the second I take my eyes off, I die.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like committed to your memory with like Xbox controls, but I actually found that it was a lot easier to remember, and for others when I told them that the colors matched the Xbox buttons. But I know some people don't have that like committed to memory, but for me, I kind of always remember that red is right, because B, and X is left because blue, so on.
So I use a PS4
Okay.
a lot more. So I am on an Xbox controller right now. I'm just
Yeah, but that's
not.
more about what you play with. For like not looking at it, you would have to kind of remember. Hmm. Oh.
Oh, just too far over.
Yeah, I was kind of pixel perfect there. Probably like one more pixel over, you probably wouldn't have died. This part is very kind of claustrophobic. It's kind of meant to be that way. Yeah, well, movement is helpful and very important. In this part, you very much do kind of have to rely on the color switching.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh. Oh yeah, yellow. Just confused how you died there for a second.
Fuck! I did it again! I hit the wrong button! I did it. Oh my god. Oh.
Yikes.
Okay, green is A.
Ooh. I can see like switching to green like right before you get hit by it, like right as you get hit by it. I The blue is exceptionally rough at the end because obviously you can't stand where the blue is coming down, so you have to avoid one.
Yep.
Or you can keep that on and avoid the blue as you go up. But either way, you're gonna have to dodge one set of spikes.
would really like to get past this one level before the end of this stream, and I'm not confident that that's gonna happen.
Just keep your cool when you get up there. We know you can do that. You've done it like 3 times. You just need to focus up when you get up there on that jump. Seems to be what's killing you. But I do that too. Like, it's just how the game is. Like, you're kind of meant to kind of get not complacent, but like.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Yes.
Thought you would hit that blue one for 1 second.
Oh my god.
Ooh, that was a close
Okay.
one.
Yeah, that was close.
That was
Good job,
really
though.
close. Okay, thank you. So what I am actually gonna do is stop hitting my keyboard. I'm actually gonna call it here because it's 8:45. I really can't go past 9 because of work things. And I'm not sure I can finish another level in 15 minutes.
The mental state couldn't take it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I do honestly really love this game. It's great. I was just gonna say link it one last time for everyone in chat. Yeah, so I hope you guys had fun. I hope everyone in chat had fun. Thank you for coming to stream. Yes, please check it out. It's great. It's only $2.99. It is worth more than that. It is wonderful. I just want to check here real quick because I can now customize because I have.
Oh yeah, take a look at your
the-
customization system.
Yes, I love it.
Your gold chain and your scarf.
I mean, the nice thing about the gold chain is it doesn't hide the mouth, but the scarf is super cute. But it
And once
is.
you beat the game, you earn the privilege to smile.
Yeah, that's actually I like that. It seems relevant. I didn't even complete World 1, that's right, because I skipped the boss. Oh well. Yeah, so why don't you take one last little like this is who we are, this is Phaser, this is our company. While I set up a raid because while you're doing that, I am gonna set up to raid Katsuru, who is a longtime viewer of this channel, and it's his birthday today. So we're gonna go give him a birthday raid.
Well, happy birthday! But yeah, once again, James Borman, member of Refraction Games LLC. I hope everyone who's watched today enjoyed what they saw, and if you want to check the game out, I did link it, and we appreciate any support you guys give. And if anybody has any like last minute questions, feel free to type her in chat, and I can right before we go can answer anything. I hope everyone thinks it looks fun and interesting, even if you're not going to check it out. Because we put a decent amount of work into it. We hope that it brings joy to people. You have anything you want to say, Stephen?
Yeah, not too much. Yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed the stream. Let's thank and I suppose I shouldn't gamer answer. I don't want to dox you guys.
Yeah.
But thank you for hosting the stream. I really appreciate it. It was fun to watch people playing it, and thanks again for all the help. I mean, Refraction Games is not exactly the most established company in the world, but it would be far less established if you were not helping us out. So, greatly appreciate it.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. I love this stuff. This is why I do what I do because I legitimately enjoy doing this. And it makes me personally very happy to see something that went from the classroom out into the world. So I was, yeah, more than happy to stream this, play it, buy it. I actually bought it right when it dropped. I just didn't have time to stream it right away. But yeah, I'll wait a couple minutes in case anyone has questions before I start the raid, because yeah, once the raid starts. And yeah, I know it's late, so not everyone may want to stick around online, but it is Katsuru's birthday, so if everyone stays for just a couple minutes, to get the raid going and at least say happy birthday. I know that would make him very, very happy. And for those of you who have been around for the last few months for my stream, that amazing birthday I had while streaming, Katsuru set all of that up. So we should go pay back all that love.
Alright, I can stick around for a few minutes for sure.
Yeah, I'm happy to stick around if anybody has any questions or anything
Happy
like that.
birthday.
And yeah, wish him a happy birthday.
So just as a reminder, because sometimes people get used to talking when I have them in Discord, once we raid into the next channel, he can't hear you talking.
Yes, that would make sense.
Yep.
I understand intellectually everybody knows that, but sometimes you just get used to talking. All right, I'm not seeing any questions, so I'm going to start this raid up.
Alrighty. Well, good luck on the raid. And wish him a happy birthday for me. Thanks for all your help.
Welcome.